What's up, everyone? This is Shakir Ramsey from RamseySpeaksTV. I am here with a good friend of mine, Alex Green. Say hi, Alex.
Hey, how you doing?
Alex and I are students at the Johnson School. We've worked on several projects together, so I'm very happy to have him here to speak to you. He's about to head off to Apple. As you guys know, Apple is one of the most impossible companies to get into. I think it's like less than 0.5%, something like that. So he has a lot to share about maybe how he got in, or just other stories that can help you achieve the dreams that you are as well. Alex, when I talked to you, one of the things I was very fond of is the fact that as a kid, when you were 10 years old, you've been dreaming of getting into Apple, and now it's a dream come true. How were you able to stay so focused for so long? I mean, 10 years old, that's a long time ago, you know? And here we are today, and it's about to happen. So how have you been able to stay so focused for so long, and what obstacles?
I have to be honest though, I don't know that I was necessarily focused. It's a course, it's a journey that you take. And you know, I think for me, my father was a teacher, and he brought home his Apple IIe during the summertime. And I learned how to play number crunchers and Oregon Trail, and I taught myself the basic computer language. And you know, since that point in time, I was always interested in technology. I really enjoyed it. I found it fascinating. I was a bit introverted at times as a younger person, and I used technology as my mechanism to express myself. And over time, you know, I kind of just stuck with it. I found it very fascinating, and I became the go-to guy that everybody looked to for technology. And you know, while I knew I wanted to work for this company, I never really thought it was possible. And in my undergrad, I focused on media technology, and I did my thesis on the cultural consumption of the iPod, only because I thought it sounded interesting, and it was kind of right up my alley, and I thought, wow, I can actually get class credit for doing this. And so I did. But then, you know, getting a job at Apple seemed very difficult after undergrad. I wasn't an engineer. I didn't really know computer science or anything. So I got a different job. I went into consulting. And while I really enjoyed consulting, I thought to myself, am I truly happy doing this? Am I really, really fulfilled? And when I came to Johnson, when I came to business school, I thought, this is an opportunity to rethink what's important for me, to rethink what I like and what I don't like. And I came to the realization that I really like technology, and I really like connecting technology with people. And it may not be, you know, the job that pays the most money, or it may not get me the most notoriety or whatever, but if it's what I really like, it's who I really am. And I made a point to say that if there's a time in my life to make a change, now is it. And so, you know, go big or go home is what I typically say. And that's what kind of motivated me. So I think, you know, yeah, I have been wanting to work there for a long time, but my ability to get there has ebbed and flowed in my mind over time. And I think what's really important is you have to be honest with yourself about what it is that you're good at and what it is that drives you. And I know for me, working with technology, connecting people with technology, working for a company that believes in something and has a mission, I think that those are elements and attributes of jobs that are very important for me. And it just happened that Apple fit the bill. All those.
You're saying you're a lucky guy, pretty much.
I feel like a very lucky guy. Yeah, I've been very fortunate, and but I would encourage all your viewers to really focus in on what it is that makes them tick, and strip the name of the company out. Just focus on a job that allows you to do those things that make you happy.
I think what you're not saying is it's luck, but it's hard work and surrounding yourself with right people, and that seems to be what you've also done, right? And one of the questions I have for you to back that up is, who have been role models or figures that you look up to to help you on your journey to Apple, or just achieve your dreams?
You know, I think in the technology space, Steve Jobs is for sure one of them. I grew up staying up late at night so I could watch Steve Jobs keynotes live at the time, you know. And I think from him, I learned a couple of things. I think one, my presentation style is very much akin to Steve Jobs, and I think the logical structuring that he laid out is something similar to what I do now. But I also very much admire Steve and Apple for having the courage to say no to certain things at certain times. The courage to say, no, we're not going to have a 3.5-inch floppy drive, and no, you know, we're not going to include various features. But so I think that ability to say no in the face of a lot of opposition and to take a very progressive stand is an element from Steve Jobs and from Apple that I very much appreciate. And I have found that to be valuable for me in my professional career. The other is a colleague of mine from Deloitte. His name is Barry Cobb, and he was a project manager. And we were on a number of projects together, very, very difficult, large company technology implementations. And there are times when it seemed like we couldn't get to the next objective, the next milestone. Things were kind of crashing upon us. And you see this a lot in technology, where it's kind of cutting edge stuff you're working on, and it's hard to get to the next step sometimes. And he had a very level-headed mindset, and he was just like, work through every small challenge as you get it, and just make small incremental wins along the way. And as long as you make small progress, you're heading in the right direction. And I think sometimes we technologists lose sight of that. We lose sight of, we're so focused on these nitty-gritty things, we forget about the big picture. And it's important to remember that we're making small progress on the grand scheme of things. And I think it's important for us to remember that small wins can add up to some really great technological and organizational change. And that's something that's kind of been in my mind as I struggle with projects at Johnson or outside of Johnson. It can get frustrating as things get challenging, but as long as you're heading in the right direction, you'll get there.
So there you have it from Alex Green. To summarize what he's saying a long journey begins with the first step. And every step counts towards that big win. He started to dream about Apple when he was 10 years old, and today it's a reality because he took the steps. He looked up to Steve Jobs. He actually had a mentor that was real, that he could make those steps and those connections with. And now he's living his dream. This is it from RamseySpeaks.com. Take care. Until next time, thank you so much.